Hey, Brent here with Autosport Labs with a demo on the new lap recalculation feature of the RaceCapture app. So let's go ahead and maximize the app and go into analysis. And the lap recalculation feature is available under sessions. So when you go to your sessions, you'll see an additional button called Recalculate Laps. And what that will let you do is recalculate laps in case there was a configuration problem. Let's say you were doing a RaceCapture Pro session, logging laps to an SD card, but the system did not auto-detect the racetrack. Well, you can go in and recalculate the laps, so you can look at your data in the context of laps after the fact. What else you can do? You can go in and define start and finish points after the fact if you're doing a ad hoc data session. Let's say you just drive from one point to another, you'll be able to define a start and finish point. Or if you just want to redefine the start finish point for any session, you'll be able to do that as well. So let's look at a simple example. We have a session from Alex that he kindly provided us from Portland International Raceway. So let's go into recalculate laps. And what the system does is when it looks at the session data, it suggests a track map in the system if it matches, and then you'll be able to select that track map, which then has a start finish point defined and lets you quickly recalculate those laps if it finds a track map. Now what it will do is it will show other configurations on this list in case you're at a racetrack with multiple configurations. Portland only has one, so we're just presented with one option. So we select the track, and then there's a button at the bottom, recalculate laps. We'll make this button a little bit better on the release version, but here it is just for demoing. So we go to recalculate laps, and then now it's doing its work, and it detected 41 laps. So we dismiss, and then we can go into sessions, and then add that to our analysis, and then there are all of our laps. So why this one is important is because this particular session we had Alex had a misconfiguration in his RaceCapture system during a recent race and did not record any laps, even though the GPS data and the speed data and other sensor data was still good. So now with the ability to recalculate those laps, we're able to recover that data and then be able to view the session in the context of laps, and everything is awesome. So let's go ahead and remove these sessions, and we'll do a little demo on an ad hoc point-to-point test. So our friend Greg provided this point-to-point test data. This was just some testing data for RaceCapture. There was no track or track points defined in advance. When you come in to recalculate laps, right now, it doesn't know what track you're at, so it just shows all the tracks. I think what we'll do is probably just not show this screen if there are no tracks to nearby to detect, and it'll just show this custom start-finish screen. So what this lets you do is lets you go and select a start point by moving the cursor along the data path. So here, let's select this arbitrary point for the start. And you can see this kind of goes in a circuit, but we're going to treat it as like a point-to-point. So in the future, this will be useful for doing autocross runs, where you can do a session, you could do a run before the start-finish points are defined, and then go back in and calculate a lap or run after the fact, and then use that to apply to future runs and then combine everything in a session. That's a future feature. We're going to do that after we release this basic capability, but it will set the stage for being able to support that. Anyways, so here we have the start point defined and then a finish point defined, and then you can press the button, recalculate laps, and here we just have one lap calculated. Hit dismiss, and now we can go in and select this lap, and we have to go into the track just select the track again, and then there's the data. So here, if you look at the current lap, elapsed time, and the lap count, we have the current lap, and then right when we get to the point where we define the finish point, we see the lap count increment, and that's our lap boundary. Yeah, so we could do another example. Let's see, let's take a look at this Thunderhill long. This is a pretty big session. And here we have multiple configurations offered because Thunderhill has a lot of different track variants. So we know that this is a 5-mile course, and there's also 86 laps. It's a pretty big, first of all, it's about like a almost 5-minute lap time with 86 laps that we already know of. So we go and to the lap recalculation, and now it's just cranking away, redefining the laps. We'll let that finish. And there we go. 85 laps detected. It's quite a bit of data. And then we can go and add that back in to the session. And we can go and select the track. I don't know why it all... Let's see. Thunderhill should have auto-detected it, but in any case. So there's our data from Thunderhill. And yeah, there we go. So yeah, this will save and recover data logs from systems that have been misconfigured, or just let you recalculate the laps as needed. We'll also be adding the sector calculation that's actually happening behind the scenes, but we're not visualizing it. We hope to get this out to you soon for testing. Cool. All right. Thanks for watching.